All right, welcome. So I'm gonna show you how to do a simple to-do app in Angular 19 with all the latest and greatest features such as, zoneless, signals, and stuff like that, right? So let's just see the preview. So it's really, really simple. I didn't even bother to styling this at all. So like maybe um, buy eggs or something, and then you can press enter, and then clean room or something like that. And you could just keep on adding it, right? And then you can, remove any of it. But these are like not orders; these are IDs. But I mean, you can certainly show them as orders. But I just did it as ID. So just do these, and there. So and also like if you guys don't know, to test if there is zone or not, you can just do like zone capital, and then you see there's undefined, right? So which means this application is low zoneless, but it is pretty cool that it is reacting to it, right? So this is the latest and greatest of Angular, and certainly not the latest. I guess it's been out for about a year now or something like that. But yeah, let's just try to do this simple application, and yeah, let's get started. All right, to get started, let's just open a new project, right? So with the new command called like engineer, not new, engineer command called like, let's just do to, right? And then we're going to choose the styles. Let's just do the CSS. I don't think we're going to use it, but it's better than CSS for sure. This will not take a while. It's pretty quick. Okay, and then we can just start the app fresh. The thing about Angular is that, the initial boilerplate, it can be a little bit big, but the bundle size has actually gotten a lot smaller over the years. So I'm not too worried. It's just this initial package installing that gets a little bit long, but, not too much. So let's just open a new code editor. So yeah, oops, didn't mean to do that. Okay, cool. All right, so this is the file structure, right? And then you can just see these. All right, so first step is to go zoneless, right? So you can just do like Angular zoneless. So you can see the guide in here, but I'm just going to show you the guide on the left. So the first step is to go to your config file and, change this into, like delete this entirely. And I guess you can delete the routes too, because we're not going to need it, right? But let's just leave it at that. But now we just copy this thing, provide experimental zoneless detection. Right, so this is your first step, right? You save it. And then your second step is to uninstall zone.js. So npm install zone.js. So now it's uninstalled from your package.json. Then the third thing would be go to your angular.json file and then get rid of all dimensions of zone. So here, these two, and that's it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's just see what the files have changed, right? So the logs changed, Angular changed, package changed, and also the provides changed, right? So okay, let's just do some cleanups. We don't need these. Let's get rid of everything. Let's just say hello. And then let's do ng-serve. So this is how you go zoneless in Angular. And if you're just starting a new project, I would highly recommend this approach as well. It's pretty awesome. And then router outlet, we're not using it, so let's just delete it. So version 19, it gives you a warning if there is no unused imports, which is pretty cool. Okay, let's go to localhost 4200. Now, yeah, so we have zoneless application. Let's just go to console, type zone. There's nothing, right? So that's pretty cool. All right, nice. So first step is to maybe create the input and the button, right? So let's just go ahead and create the input and then the button, right? So let's just call it add and input. Let's just call it an input. So yeah, we have the input and add button. So it doesn't do anything. Let's just do something, right? So first of all, let's create a variable called tasks, which is going to be, you can do it without signals for sure, but since everything new, latest and greatest involves signals, so let's just use signals. And then let's just call it like a task of array, and then the initial value would be empty array. but we don't have an interface called task. So let's just create that, and then do interface task, and then let's do ID as a number, and then maybe like text as a string. Like text would be the thing that you want to do, right? And you have to import the signals from the Angular core. Okay, that's great. So this is the tasks as in signal. Nice. All right. So now we're gonna use another new thing from Angular. I guess was it 18 or 19? I think it was 18, called modal. So let's just do the task text, I guess, and then instead of using signals, we're gonna use modal. So what this does is, it provides two-way data binding. So if you guys are aware of this thing called ng model, right? ng model. So now you can provide like ng model and then assign like a variable, a string, right? So that provides two-way data binding. And now it's possible to do with signals. In the past you couldn't do it, but now it's possible. So let's do two-way data bind with text. And in order to use ng model, you have to use the forms module. So let's import the forms module. Okay, now there it is. So let's just demonstrate this, right? So I'm gonna show task text in here, as a signal, right? So I have to call the function, and then if I provide something, it responds directly. So this is like one-way data binding, but in order to provide two-way data binding, let's do something like this. When I click the add button, I will call the add task function, but which we don't have right now. So let's just create that. And then in here, let's just, let's try to assign empty value, because whenever we add a task, we want it to be empty, right? So that's like two-way data binding now. So let's just try this. So now we have these, and then if I click add, it gets empty, right? So that means we have two-way data binding, which is pretty cool. Before you would have to do like some sort of event listener to do this, but now you can just do it with just a simple model, which is really, really awesome. Okay, cool. Now on the add task, you just have to push the new task into the tasks array, right? So let's just do that. Tasks dot update. So in order to update the signal, you can use update, and this provides the current signal as a function, not function, or a variable. And then you can do like tasks dot push, and then you can add the ID as like 2 or something, and then you can do text, as the text would be the task text signal, right? So you have to return something. So let's just return the tasks, right? So this is how you update a signal. But now, of course, like this ID has to change every time, right? So let's just do that essentially. Like I'll just create like a variable called task ID, which is which starts from 1 if the length of the tasks is 0, right? So if there's no tasks, let's just call it 1. So basically tasks dot length equals 0. If it is 0, then start with 1. And if it's not 0, then tasks dot length minus 1, which is going to be the last entry of the tasks, and the dot ID plus 1, right? So I'm just going to add 1 to the latest ID. And this is, it's an okay method to assign tasks, or you can just, randomly generate it, but there's always a chance of collision, right? So let's just do this. Okay. So yeah, let's try to print this out. I think this works. So let's just do this. Okay. How do I never translate to this side? Okay. Cool. Okay. So in order to, show this, let's just use the latest for loop, right? So at for task of tasks, and then you have to have a track function, which is, how you track the task. And then we have an entry called ID, which is really awesome. And tasks is also a signal, so we have to provide the method. And then we can just print, task.id, and then task.text. Okay, let's just do this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, add Okay, now it's working. Okay, so let's just get rid of this. This is making it confusing. Let's try again. And then I will put a semicolon here. Oh yeah, I have to put it inside a div so that it's going to a new line. So it's much cleaner. Okay, let's try again now. So I have A, B, C, D, E, right? So now it's working. Cool. So now it's rendering everything and everything looks cool. And we don't have any errors, do we know? So yeah, now it's using the zoneless with signals and it's everything is looking really, really good. Now let's add the delete button, right? So remove task. And then let's just assume there's going to be like index coming in, right? Instead of, showing ID, I can also show the index. So let's just try that. Okay. I'll do it on the next one. Not next. I'll do it after I complete this method. So this dot tasks dot update, we have to update it again, right? So tasks comes in, and then we're just going to use the splice method. So tasks dot splice. So splice is exactly what we need in here. This is how you would remove elements from the array. So but we have to provide the index. So let's do index and then one. One means I'm just going to remove one task, right? So now after this, we have to return the tasks. Splice method returns the sliced method, like a spliced method. No, sorry, spliced array, right? So if you do like one, it will return like a one array. So, but we don't want that. We want the rest of it, right? So that's why I'm returning the tasks. Okay, cool. So let's call the remove tasks from a button. The button, oops, remove, right? And then on a click function, remove tasks, and then to provide the index, right? So to provide the index, there's a neat trick called $index, which is going to be defined inside of a for loop, right? So this will give you the index. So that's why I can just remove this and do the index. So now it's going to show the index instead of ID, because like users don't want ID, they want index, right? So, and also like you can add 1 to it because it starts from 0. Now it's going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Okay, cool. Let's try it. QQQ WWER. Nice. And then if I remove it, it works. Nice, great. All right, cool. This is it. This is the zoneless task to-do app, essentially, right? So, and also you can do hook up with like local storage to have persistent, because if I refresh, it's gone. But that's kind of like pointless, to be honest, because you better need to store it in the database in that case, not local storage, right? So maybe there's going to be a full stack tutorial next time for the database hookup and providing these tasks from the backend and stuff like that. But for now, this is as simple as it gets, and it provides a neat little signal functions, latest and greatest, and experiment with zoneless change detection on Angular. All right, thanks, and see you next time.